Well, hello and welcome people internet back to some more Holocure Save the Fans. Now, in all admittance, I did play this character for a little bit, Akai Haato, which has been asked for by a few of the viewers in the comment section on the past couple of videos, so we're going to be jumping in and play with her. Ultimately, what I tried was, I jumped in with her to stage 3 hard. Now, one of the downsides with this, with how I'm playing all of these characters, is I'm not really spending a lot of time investing into each one. Right now, I really just want to try every single character, and so in doing that, I'm not really working on building their fandoms up, and so like their damage, their health is going to be lower than it probably should be to take on some of these harder stages. Tried it a couple times, made it about 3 or 4 minutes in, and her kit is also a little more kind of complicated than other characters, and so I was really struggling there. So then I jumped into stage 4, which we've done before and is one of my favorite stages. I just really think that stage is fun, and I made a couple really boneheaded moves playing with like research coat and injection type Coco or Asakoko. And I had an interaction which I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and it did or it didn't. There was one that did, one that didn't. And so I was like, you know what, this is just not going the way. So, yeah, I looked into her kit a little bit to understand how things are working, and I think we can do a bit better build this time. So, Akai Haato, if you haven't played with her yet, or if you haven't seen her yet, she has a red heart. So, the way that she works is her skill is on a very short cooldown. Basically, she can change her weapon back and forth. One weapon is basically hearts that spin around her, kind of Bible-esque from Vampire Survivors, and the other is she throws out like a couple spinny hearts in front of her that deal damage just like a regular projectile. And then each time she activates that skill, she's going to do an attack, right? She does a heart burst that knocks back enemies or deals 300% damage. And so we can kind of use this to our advantage. And she also takes advantage of spider weapons. So we might see a super collab in this one. Let's go ahead and jump into stage 4. We're taking our healing potion item, and we're going to take a puffer fish main set, and let's go. Alrighty, so we have our main weapon here. Look at that. We already have our skill, so we pop that, deal a little bit of damage, and now we switch into the black heart or projectile-based weapon. As far as these go, do I even want any of these? I mean, Ninja Headband we can get rid of because this doesn't work. We'll just take the extra damage. One of the things that I wasn't sure of is I was looking at taking the Devil Hat, mostly because she has two different attack styles. And I think I'm going to be taking Beetle here because I'm assuming it does work with this. Although maybe I don't necessarily want to because it already deals a lot of damage. Maybe we'll hold off till later to take Beetle. Because you can see it's already killing basically everything. So no sense in overkilling. We can kind of work on other stuff first and then maybe take that later down the line. But her weapon is a multi-hit weapon, right? So in one sense, I was thinking maybe it's projectile. I basically wasn't sure if it was considered a melee weapon just because her primary use when you first enter is the hearts that spin around you. I think I'm just going to take Plushie. I really like Plushie, and especially if we're going to go the spider weapon route and take the spider cooking, well, then that just leads us into taking the super collab and getting the what is it, the food one, the Edie one that everyone's been like, you didn't get the super collab, but we'll see if we can get it today. Purity and Insanity. So when she's in her Haato form, which is her circly heart form, she heals 3 HP every 2 seconds. In Hachama form, which is her projectile form, Red Heart can poison targets around, dealing 30% damage per second. Targets can gain up to 5 stacks of poison. So when this is triggered, this is another thing that I had to look up because I wasn't exactly sure how it was working. We're going to see a spider icon flash on the screen. So all of these enemies that are affected by spiders have 1 stack of poison on them. So let's go ahead and keep leveling up our weapon here. Don't care about this at all. Let's go ahead and just leave it on the board here. We will take this one though. And so actually now, because we have this one, we're going to go ahead and pick this one up in strength. And we can go ahead and instantly get our third. So yeah, Devil's Hat. Because we have such a short cooldown on our skill, we can pretty much keep this buff active like all the time. Ooh, got a nice little pepper. Let's get the tasty pepper. But you guys are going to have to tell me. I've been trying to figure out what the lore is on this character. This is something that, you know, I don't really... So I don't look up for these characters, mostly because a lot of you guys are going to be way better at telling me what the lore of the character is. You know, instead of me just looking up, and it's more fun to hear from you guys what the lore is, you know, some little hidden details about the characters and all that kind of stuff. So this is our... coexistence. I believe that's the one it is. So basically for every 60 seconds we build up a stack. Once we have 60 stacks for 10 seconds, we use both of our weapon types. Let's take... So I think I'm eventually going to take injection type Ass Coco. I'm not going to take it right now because we don't have any direct way to heal. We do have a little bit, but I'm going to wait till we have a more consistent way to heal. There we go. Our 10 seconds is over. Ooh, what do we want here? Unfortunately, we still haven't found our... I think I'm just going to get rid of the X Potato. I don't think there's a world in which I'm taking that. Not that it's necessarily bad. I just don't think this is... It's particularly a weapon that I want to play with. Okay, so there's our lava bucket. Oh, but there's also study glasses. Okay, let's go ahead and put a hold on the lava bucket and we'll take the study glasses. Interesting. So we have, let's see, do I want the shackles? Probably not, because I still need sheep. I need something else. Yeah, I think that would just take up too much. I was initially thinking if I wanted to take Gorilla's Paw and if I wanted to take injection type, that would help. But I think I can pass up on that. I think I am going to get rid of this focus shades. I don't think that this is going to be particularly relevant to us. And let's go ahead and get... let's actually lock in this Worldwide Strongest Idol. But I've been trying to figure out, like, what could this character's lore possibly be? Because it seems to me like they're trying to imply that she has some kind of connection to spiders, which is odd because I don't typically associate cats with spiders. And so it's a little bit weird for this cat character to have the association with spiders. Ooh, full meal is actually interesting because I'm assuming it works with the healing we have. So if we took this, we took sheep, and then we took injection type Ass Coco, that could be kind of nice. That would be a lot of damage, and then we could heal up pretty quickly. I kind of like that. We are kind of banking on that we can get all these items, though. And if we don't get, like, the injection type Ass Coco, then the full healing is kind of, like, not great. So we will see. We will see. We're kind of hoping we get everything we need. Let's take the Red Heart Awaken. Let's just take that out of the pool so that way we no longer see it. Just gives us more options to find things we need. But there's also, like, this hint that she is a... to me, I'm getting split personality. Perhaps I'm a little off base on that. But the whole, like, you know, coexistence, and then the... What was it? There's, like, purity and the other one. It was a corruption. Anyway, you know, it's almost like she, and then of course with the skill swapping between two different forms, it's almost like there's a dual personality design going on there, which would be interesting. VTubers are already crazy. I can't even imagine a dual personality VTuber, or I should say a multi-personality, but I guess in this case dual personality. I think that's just a freaky concept in general. You know, the idea that, like, somebody, your brain could just swap into an entirely different personality. And like, you know, I don't know a whole lot about like multiple personality. Is it a disorder or a syndrome? It's kind of like the difference between like, you know, like a virus and a disease, right? It's like, I don't really know the difference between them. I think I'm also going to get rid of the Holo Bomb. But either way, I'm assuming in most cases, do you not really recover, or do you not really have a sense of like, man, that's just a weird thing to acknowledge. Like, does every personality have the memories of the, is there even a base personality? Like, does it, this is going to be a weird way to put it, but so if a person has multiple personality disorder, is there like a primary personality, and then everyone after that is like a new piece of equipment where you can kind of switch into that? This is a horrible analogy, but like you switch into a new quote unquote piece of equipment, and when you do that, you still like have that base underlying personality that kind of knows what's going on. Does it completely take over, or is there really no quote unquote base personality? I don't know. That's just, it's such a weird concept. You know, it's like telling a blind person, imagine the color red, like, and they've been blind since birth. Like, there's that guy on YouTube who's the blind YouTuber. Like he had a video with, I think it was the guy from Vsauce. I think it was the guy from Vsauce, where they were talking about color, and oh no, they were talking about the horizon, and this guy, I feel like his name is Tom. I don't know why, but I feel like that's his name. And he was just like, I don't understand how it just looks like the world just like comes to an end at a point, but you can never reach it. I can't conceptualize that in my brain. And it's just like, it's one of those weird things that's like, you know, negatives in general or lack thereofs are hard to fully comprehend. Yeah, let's seek the devil hat. Right, it's kind of like telling somebody to think of nothing. It's like, what does that mean? Think of nothing. It's just like it just doesn't exist. It's not like when you close your eyes and people say like, oh, for seeing people, right? Let's just completely re-roll this. Take the devil hat. For people who can see and have always been able to see, if you tell someone to close their eyes and you ask them what do they see, most of the time they'll say, I see nothing. Well, you're not seeing nothing. You're technically seeing black. There's probably very small amounts of light that are coming through your eyelids because your eyelids are pretty thin. And so you can kind of see things, right? Nobody, like, you're not really seeing nothing. And that's just such a weird thing. Oh, I should probably enchant this. There's our spider cooking. Perfect. Still got to find our sheepy. We can get rid of this. Don't really need it. We'll just go ahead and strengthen this up. That's fine. Let's get our glasses up. More experience. I feel like having the increased attack size is actually probably pretty good with our hearts. You know, as somebody who, when I'm troubleshooting issues, whether it comes to tech issues, whether it's, you know, from Adobe products, which, good Lord, there's so many issues I have to troubleshoot there, or issues with my computer or anything. You know, I always try and I always try to walk down the path of where are the issues coming from. And I try to identify, like, is the problem coming from, if I do thing X, does thing Y happen? Yes or no? It does? Okay, well then let's go down an additional stage. If I change something further down the pipeline, does it change? Yes, no? Okay, well then we can further identify it. But when there's something that is happening where the solution is going to make it not happen. So for example, let me clarify this, because that's like a really ambiguous statement that kind of means nothing. If, let's say, close to every minute, your computer makes a beeping sound. You can't identify what is actually, you know, it's not like you hit the shift key 5 times and sticky keys comes up and it beeps, right? You're having trouble identifying what is actually making your computer beep. And you do all this stuff, and eventually you think, oh, I think I made it work. The problem is it's really hard to tell, because you're not entirely sure if it was actually every minute, or maybe there was just something that happened that was making it seem like it was a minute. Maybe it was actually 2 things that were happening. One was doing it every minute, one was doing it every other minute. Like, these types of things can happen, and they really bug me when it comes to troubleshooting, because you can't really test a negative, right? You can't really test for, is this thing not happening anymore? That's why I like testing things when it's like I can force something to happen and know it's working, versus I think it's working because nothing is happening. That bugs so much. All right, let's collab them up. Elite cooking. We're gonna have to enchant those up again. Nothing here. We can go ahead and get rid of the bounce ball. Still need our sheep. Still need our sheep. I guess technically pill would work. But I'm just gonna take the plushie. I'm gonna kind of not try and force like all my rerolls to get the sheep. It will come. It will come. And we will get it. Oh, wait. Can I not? Oh, wait, I can't enchant this oh, that's okay. That's my bad. That's my bad. So in order to get double enchantments, I have to have each item enchanted. Okay. I have never run into that situation before out of all 17 episodes that we've done at this point. So that's my bad. I just won't do that again. We don't need any of this. I'm going to get rid of chicken feather. I could take curse. I could take curse. A lot of you guys were saying that curse is one of the ones that you go for when you just have like a single item. We can take 2 more items. I do have it set to 3 weapons. What can I combine with curse? Not this one. I can do it with cutting board. And not ball. Okay, so I would have to do cutting board. I think that's fine. Cutting board is a fine defensive item to take. So let's get this enchanted. +1 projectile. Ooh, that's nice. I don't know if I've ever seen that enchantment. For some reason, that feels like I've never seen it. Of course it gives me both. Well, we'll hold the cutting board. We'll take the Uber sheep. Hold up. Does this have an internal cooldown? Or is it working? So okay, so let's assume that blue is her standard form because her eye is blue here. If I switch to red form, does switching back to does that basically count as half a skill activation? So something like Devil Hat, is that not going to work until I use just the blue to red form? So every switch back is basically half, right? So I would get, so from here to here, I would get Devil Hat activation, no Devil Hat activation. Devil Hat activation, no Devil Hat activation. Because that's what just happened. I just saw the buff wear out, I used my skill, and then I didn't get the benefit from the boost. Unless there's an internal cooldown on... But see, like, I get it there. Although this is red to blue. So I don't know. But at this point, we know red to blue gives us the buff. So I'm actually going to wait here to go from blue to red and see if I still get the buff. And let's just work on our Uber sheep here. Even though I would really like to have the projectile here. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there is a cooldown on it. Hang on, I'm going to stay away from in front of their 5 seconds here until I can build this up. Oh, okay, so there's just like, there's like an internal cooldown. So it gives you the buff for 45 seconds, and then it looks like there's a 15-second window that you can't activate this again. Okay, got it. Let's get this enchanted. Cooldown, nice. Time between attacks. I think that's probably better than attack speed. Although, actually, maybe it's better than this now. Well, we're still getting an additional 30. Yeah, no. We're gonna swap this. We're gonna swap this. We're still getting 30% damage. Nice. We'll love to see an Uber sheep there. So again, there's kind of two things I want to take here. So Beetle is interesting, right? Because it could increase. Sometimes we're getting damage out of this. Sometimes we're not. What else would I take? Like, I could see taking injection type Coco, which, like, isn't that just better than this? Because we're going to have the healing from the Super Collab, plus we get the full healing here. Let's get rid of Breastplate. Right, I feel like if you're playing a build that doesn't necessarily have a bunch of self-healing in it, like you're just kind of relying on burgers, then you probably want to go with Beetle if you can use it. But since we have a bunch of healing, for us it's kind of beneficial to try and get that injection type. And we still got 7. Maybe I shouldn't have focused so hard on Uber Sheep. We still got to wait 7 levels. Let's do this one since it increases the size. God, this feels like it feels like Pain from Naruto. Is that the character I'm thinking of? I mean, I know. Let me clarify. I know who Pain is. I'm trying to think of like the actual frame, like the animation frame that I'm thinking of. Was it Pain that had like his oh Jesus, I almost said Byakugan. His Rinnegan like in frame just like that. I don't know. I think it was. Okay, so I don't... Let's see. Let's just take... I'm going to get rid of the energy drink, I think. Because what else do I want? I get rid of this. I want injection type, and then I could also see going for, like, Gorilla Paw or something, just for more offense. Yeah, I just want to go... I mean, this increases... So this increases haste. Maybe this is actually pretty good. I'm gonna hold off on the eliminate. I'm not going to eliminate. Because I think that's a potential pickup. This is a eliminate though. Fires 2 cards to increase the chance of drain. Yeah, we'll take that. Let's just keep leveling these up. Yeah, that's the struggle with having like man, my memory is so weird. I've talked about it before how I feel like I have memory issues. There are some things that I can remember super well, and then other things I can kind of remember pieces of. Like, I can remember imagery pretty well, where I can remember like general shapes of things, but when it comes to the specifics of the image, like I have trouble pulling out the details. So, like, I remember a frame of an animation that looks like that with the eyes, not as flat, though. I remember them being, like, almost fisheye. So, like, we were, but it was fisheye the opposite way. So, it wasn't like, the magnification wasn't like you were looking on the inside of a bowl where the curve is rounded away from you. It was like it was rounded towards you. I can't pull out like the character's face. I'm just assuming that it was Pain because I'm thinking of Rinnegan, but I don't know. But like I can do that with like books as well. I went on a whole research spree. I can't tell you what the name of the books were now because I've forgotten them. I could probably find them again. But I remember distinctly when I was a kid, my dad, I don't know where he got them from. I feel like he got them from a yard sale or something. But we had a number of books. I think we had like I think it was 4 books. And they were all choose your own adventure books. And like the only one that I can think of very clearly, I know that they were in general, like the covers were white that had a picture kind of cut out in a rectangle on top, but there was one that was like a dragon with a tree, like I think the dragon was standing like behind the tree, and it was a series of children's books. I believe they came out in the mid 90s, maybe early 2000s. And they were all choose your own adventure, and they were very difficult. I don't know that I ever legitimately beat them as a kid. But to be fair, it's not like there was a whole lot of strategy to them. It was just kind of like, you know, oh, you come up to a hallway. Would you like to take a left or right? I would like to take a right. You walk into a horde of skeletons and they beat you alive and kill you. And it's like, okay, well, I had no idea that was there. That's not exactly fair. I do not need body pillow. So it's like I can remember what the cover looks like, and when I found them, I was like, yep, that's it. There's Gorilla Paw. That's super nice. We'll take that. Alrighty here. Let's finally get this done. Oh, there I popped. I was like, where'd it go? All right, you guys, we finally got it. Is this the first time we've gotten this in the on a run? I know in the beginning you guys were always like, you're so close to a super collab, and then I was always like, just not getting it. Yeah, we don't need this. Everything's maxed out, so we'll go ahead and sell that. But going down nostalgia road is crazy. The type of the types of memories that it can bring up. What else do I want here? What else synergizes with what I have? Anything? I mean, it just is just damage. So, let's take a projectile. Let's just go with glow stick. I like glow stick. Maybe I should have gone with like tears or whatever, but I don't know. It's offering me glow stick right now, so we'll take that. There was a series of children's books. One of which I remember very, very distinctly, mostly because my dad brings it up all the time. It was Mr. Pine's Purple House. And basically, they didn't explicitly say this because it's a children's book, but basically it was about an HOA telling this guy that he can't paint his house. Because, you know, what else would you put in a children's book? Okay, so I'm actually going to take Face Mask here over Ascoga, because I think that this is just way better. It also gives haste. Take more damage, but, you know, that is what it is. We have a ton of healing. But yeah, anytime, I have a lot of fun, like, unlocking those childhood memories, you know, like, seeing things that you haven't seen in decades. And then just, like, reliving them. And then either remembering either, man, this was so good, or, man, this was so crap. Like, you know, Small Soldiers came up in the last video we did. And I went and watched a couple videos about Small Soldiers, and like remembering all those characters. I didn't even realize, I didn't double check this, but there's no way it's not him, the voice of the like commanding the bad Small Soldier. There's no way it's not Tommy Lee Jones. But I don't think I ever put that together. And if it's not, the guy has an exact voice. Like, it's literally his voice, so it has to be. There's no way that it's not. But those things were a menace. They were tying up kids, beating up adults. But a lot of those kid shows or kid movies, kid shows back then were super dark. They were not afraid to be like, hey kids, this is how the world is, deal with it. It's like, okay, we're learning things mighty quickly here. I think that's why a lot, well, to be fair, part of my generation's pretty sensitive. A lot aren't, though. A lot are just like, whatever, leave me alone. There's a lot of them out there that are super sensitive. You know what? Let's just get a bunch of coins. Let's just get a lot of money. So I think we've found our sweet spot. I think 3 weapons, going for a super collab, a regular collab, and then a regular weapon, I think is a perfect amount. We've been trying to find kind of what is that perfect element. Because if you've been following the series for a bit, we tried out just the character specific weapon for the longest time. And while that was fun and we got a pretty decent idea of how the characters played, the downside was that we were running into situations where we were done with the build at like 9 or 10 minutes in, and the rest of it, there wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, there was gameplay, but it's not as exciting gameplay as like trying to figure out what power-ups we want to go with. Then we tried 2 weapons, which was fine. It basically put us in a situation though where we either got the weapons for a collab or we didn't. Right? There was no situation where we took one, took another that wasn't a collab, and then we could get a third that did collab with one of them. So there was no real, there's no real room for error. And so now with 3, we do have that room for error. We can get one of each collaboration type, as well as a single weapon, but I'm kind of including that in there, right? Each tier of weapons. And we finished up around 18 minutes. So I think that is a perfect place to be, and I think we're going to continue doing the runs with 3 additional weapons. And I should also note, that's also taking goggles, so we also have, an increased amount of experience. Oh, always get the burger. All right, how quickly? Probably should have upgraded that the first time. This is our higher damaging weapon. How quickly can we take you out? To be fair, we're doing a lot of attacks, but they're not super strong attacks. I don't know, that was pretty quick. 30 seconds? I'd have to see, how that stacks up against our other builds, but that was not bad. So she's a pretty interesting character. Again, you guys will have to tell me what the lore of her is. I feel like there's a couple different directions it can go. Maybe I was right on some of the points, maybe I was wrong. But either way, I'm not sure how the spider inclination ties in with being a cat. Who knows? But guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Holocure. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you did enjoy, would you kindly smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action? I'm out of here. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.